everyone, it's Dark7. Today we are playing Rakdos CORI Arcanist Burn. Arcanist Burn is a brew from my channel, like maybe 3 to 4 months old. I had a good experience playing it last time, and now we have CORI Steel Cutter card from a new edition and one of my favorite cards in last couple of years. Really enjoyed the playstyle CORI gives, and it's been bringing up some old favorites like Prowess, Murktide back again in the meta game, and the CORI is just very good and the new Prowess is very good, but there's also other places to use CORI Steel Cutter, and it's also very solid in this DRC version of Burn, which can utilize using the Dreadhorde Arcanist as well. Arcanist can be insanely strong card in Burn with 4 Ren of Glory and all these 1 mana spells. It's just a turn 1 burn spell, turn 2 haste Arcanist, burn phase and attack for 1, and if they don't kill it, so turn 3 again you just continue burning phase and copying burn spells with Arcanist. Is just really strong with all these burn spells and 4 Arena of Glories. It's such a powerhouse in this deck and one of the best cards in the deck. So now with CORI Steel Cutter, this card gives Burn another dimension, another strength. You are able to go wide and start making these Prowess tokens and have a lot of non-creature spells, of course, to cast, and this can make you go too wide for opponent, then create these tokens for free. You're just casting the spells you would cast usually anyway, and you're creating these tokens for free, applying extra pressure, going wider, making it hard for opponents to think about both dealing with creatures and spells from your hand. It gives some really extra power to strategy like Burn. So we got bunch of burn spells, like all of these are just burn spells and 14 creatures. So we got channelers, we got arcanists, we got Spears, and I got 2 Fear of Missing Outs here. So I'm not loving the Fear of Missing Outs. They can be very good, especially with Arcanist or Channeler, since we have 4 Ren of Glory, but they are definitely like not mandatory and you can play other stuff in its slots. Okay, so but CORI Steel Cutter is a great turn 2 play with Mishra Bubble. It's such an overpowered play. If you don't have Mishra Bubble, you can just play something else and save CORI for turn 3, where you can go like CORI plus burn spell, trigger the token, make a token, attack with haster, and the CORI just fits in very well and gives additional power to the deck. Okay, so we got black gives us addition to some sweet cards. We got Nihil Spellbombs, we got Fatal Pushes, we got Totsies, Smash to Smithereens, Skullcrack to prevent life gain, Pyroclasm for energy. So that's it. Okay, so we can now go to the gameplay and see how it went. Okay, here it is, playing against Boros Energy. Game 1 I did not record from the beginning, but I won the game here, and we will now check out how game 3 of this first match resolved. You can see my sideboard in play here. Of course I want the Pyroclasm and the Skullcrack to prevent their life gain, and that's basically it. So I could also bring in the Fatal Pushes, and I did not, I think, board correctly in the game 2, so I changed some stuff for game 3, left in the Skullcrack and the Pyroclasm. Okay, so let's go check out the game 3. I draw Pyroclasm, that's obviously great against them. I can start with Channeler, or I can just hold this Pyroclasm and let them play a creature. So let's see what happens. Okay, so opponent starts with Ragavan, passes the turn. Here it is, Tarfire. Tarfire is actually, I think, pretty good in this situation. I decide to go for a basic and pass the turn. I want to kill it, Tarfire it on their turn so they can play another Ragavan. Okay, so Opponent goes to the combat step and I kill Ragavan. I prefer this play so I can now get at least one surveil trigger from a Dragon Ray Channeler, or not even play Channeler. If they play two creatures, I can just go for Paraclasm next turn, and that's exactly what happens. Okay, my opponent goes God of Souls plus Ocelot, and you know, if you don't stop this on time, it can get really bad real fast. So I decide to go for the Blood Crypt here. I need black mana for my Nihil Spellbomb, and I go immediately Paraclasm, clear the board. I don't want them gain any more life. Next turn I can like haste my Channeler, Bolt Wave them face, play the Nihil Spellbomb, pass the turn. Here it is, another Guide of Souls, and opponent passes the turn. But now I also have Dreadhorde Arcanist, so this can potentially be a very good turn. Okay, so I decide to go Channeler plus Arcanist, both creatures, cast them with haste. But if I cast a Tarfire, I can kill Guide of Souls immediately, so I think that's definitely what I want to do here. My Dragon Ray Channeler will lose flying probably this turn if I don't hit another Tarfire, but yeah, that's really good. Okay, so opponent unfortunately has removal here, so I can't do anything about that, but I'm still attacking with Hasty Channeler, so my opponent is down 3 and I'm started applying some pressure, so yeah, I'm hoping they don't have much creatures, so they're only one card in hand at the moment. That's great, so I can start playing my spells. Start off with Nihil Spellbomb, Surveil here. Surveil, and this is a lot of damage, so 4 from the Bolt Waves, and I'm also like just surveilling and looking at the top of my library. Now I find a Swiftspear on top and I decided to leave it on top. So this means I'm probably going to keep this Bolt Wave in my hands so I can use it to trigger the Swiftspear next turn. Okay, opponent still has Guide of Souls, Goblin Bombardment, only one card in their hand. So I decide here to draw a card with a Spell Bomb, get that Swiftspear in hand, and hopefully get another spell. Okay, so a Swiftspear it is, and Tarfire. So I go for the Swiftspear. Go Bolt Wave face. There it is, another Swiftspear. This one goes to the graveyard. So a Bolt Wave face, this means they go down to 6. And I can now go for the kill. If my opponent doesn't have a removal, this is straight 6 damage face. So I go for it. If my opponent doesn't have removal, that is it. I go Surveil Arena to the graveyard. I have exactly 6 damage here. My opponent fetches in response. Let's see if they have anything. Okay, so they don't have anything, and that is the game against Energy. So let's see match 2. How did that go? Okay, so in match 2, I keep a pretty decent hand. My opponent starts off with Ancient Stirrings and passes a turn. Have multiple options here. My opponent takes Blade of Bloodchief to their hand, so now I know what I'm playing against. Okay, so I think in this situation I want to start with Dragon Ray Channeler. I want to start surveilling and start digging for removal. I will definitely need removals to win this one. Okay, luckily all my removal is good against their creatures. Okay, my opponent only goes for Rumble turn 2 and passes the turn. I have a slow hand this time. No spells, no burn spells, just threats. 3 creatures and 2 CORI steel cutters. Okay, opponent takes Walking Ballista. I think, yeah, they take Walking Ballista and pass the turn. Okay, so here I had multiple options. I could go for CORI steel cutter, but instead I decided to go for Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, so I can next turn I can play the Bolt, and I can start using the Arcanist immediately. But it seems like I should have maybe just waited with the Bolt in hand and not do anything else. Since my opponent chose Ballista next turn, that could be indicative of them having something to combo. Okay, my opponent goes off and makes a really large brute scale token, making a lot of mana here. And they dig with their Kozilek's command to find a missing combo piece. So now, yeah, they obviously found it, so they can now just go for a big ballista and get the win. So let's check out how did I win the remaining 2 games. Okay, so Fatal Push, Smash, Pyroclasm, I think I really like these cards against them, and I think I sideboarded out fears of missing out in every game. I think there are probably better options to go with in the main, either like um, more burn spells like Tarfire or Skullcrack or some other creatures, but yeah, I don't think the fears are really the best option, but it is decent option. It's not that bad. Okay, so here I have Bubble plus CORI steel cutter, and I have Arena of Glory. So I can go turn 2, CORI steel cutter, Mishra Bubble, make a token, turn 3, go play a 1 mana burn spell, Arena of Glory my Arcanist, and copy that spell. All that sounds pretty powerful, so I decide to keep this one and see what happens. Okay. Okay, so turn 2, CORI steel, a bubble, make a token, turn 3, burn spell plus Arcanist, copy the spell, that is a lot of damage, okay? Opponent again goes for Ancient Stirrings. And the CORI steel cutter is already 2 damage on turn 2 in this situation. On turn 3 it's a lot more damage, really a lot of damage there. Okay, opponent takes Agatha Cauldron. Turn 1 I go for a Surveil. I like having 1 Surveil here, but probably not more than that. And now I can go, of course, for the CORI steel cutter. Bubble, make a token, and yeah, I already have a 1 mana spell for my Arcanist next turn. Look at their top, see Emrakul, and start attacking. Of course, opponent is now on 17, and my situation here seems pretty good. There is also bump in the night there, okay. I can also just go for CORI steel cutter on turn 3 as well. That is also a decent option. And then go for a kill on turn 4. And okay, we can see my opponent bosaging my CORI steel cutter. That is interesting. So this opens up a new line where I go like CORI steel cutter. Okay, there is now another CORI steel cutter here. Okay, I have multiple options here. So now there is really multiple options for me. And I think it's best for me to play both cutters here and to just go for a kill next turn. My opponent only has 2 mana. I don't think they have anything close to lethal next turn. I don't think they can do much, and going for 2 CORI steel cutters opens up kill next turn with Arena of Glory, Dreadhorde Arcanist, and burn spells in my hand. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Let's see what they play. Okay, opponent goes for steerings again. That's actually like pretty good for me. They're not playing real spells, making board presence, just digging. So that is good for me. Okay, opponent passes the turn. I go haste my Arcanist. I go haste my Arcanist. Play Bump in the Night. Trigger the CORI Steel Cutters. Trigger the Prowess on the tokens. Now, when I make new tokens, my opponent is online. I can first try to copy Bump into Night with Arcanist ability. There is so much damage here, just a lot of damage. There's just no stopping this. Okay, I go for a Bump into Night, copy, trigger all my stuff, and I still have Bolt in my, still holding Bolt in my hand. So that's it. Okay, I definitely like the Smash into Smithereens. I think I like Fatal Pushes too. And that's it, ready for game 3. Let's see how it goes. I keep a lot of lands, 4 lands. But I have a bubble to Pseudo Scry here, and I find CORI on the top, so there's something to think about. Something to think about, definitely. Okay, I go Lava Spike face, put them to 16, and pass the turn. I decide to keep CORI on top. So that's why I went for the basic mountain and not fetch. Opponent goes Glaring Flash Raker and passes the turn. I have to think what to do here. Opponent doesn't play anything, so I just go for Smash to Smithereens and the turn. So now I can, I have options again. And now I think it's best time for me to play the CORI Steel Cutter, Bolt, and I can create a Monk token, kill the Flash Raker. I think killing Flash Raker is pretty good, and it is. They can also kind of combo off with Flash Raker, so I think it also ramps them, gives them a lot of mana. I think killing it is pretty good. Okay, so we can now see a situation when where potentially CORI Steel Cutter could work very well with Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, so Dreadhorde Arcanist is it good with CORI Steel Cutter because CORI Steel Cutter gives it one more power, so we can replay the spells from the yard, which are two mana, like Smash to Smithereens. Okay, so now it's a good time to continue making CORI Steel Cutter tokens. And Arcanist also makes it easy for us to make more tokens with CORI Steel Cutter. It makes double spelling easy. Okay, opponent has Thief of Existence. I definitely want to kill Thief. If I kill it, I'll also draw another card, so that is great trade. Okay, so I'm hoping to kill the Thief. Okay, so opponent plays the Glaring Flash Raker, and I see a Fatal Push on top. I see Fatal Push on top, so I find this as a good opportunity to next turn kill both of their creatures. So I decide to wait for a turn, hold fetch next turn so I can trigger the Revolt. And now I can trigger the Revolt, play Fatal Push first, kill the Thief, then I draw a card. From a Thief, it's another Arcanist, which is good because it's Arcanist triggers my CORI Steelcutter token, and then I can trigger the prowess with the Arcanist ability, play from the yard. And the sweet thing is I can haste my another of my Arcanists. That's really good. That's super strong. So now I can replay both of my spells. And that's just insanely powerful at the moment. So I can replay the Fatal Push, and I can go Lava Spike Face. I can also just replay the 2 mana spells as well. Incredibly strong situation. We can see how well these CORI Steelcutters and Dreadhorde Arcanist can work in the late game. My opponent sees all of this and just concedes. I got the win and I got the match. Okay, so there is that. That was match 2. So let us now check match 3. Okay, so this is match 3. I have a 1 lander, but I have 20 lands in this deck. And when you have Dragon Ray Channeler, it's always a bit easier to keep hands like this one. Also, a lot of my cards is like 1 mana, so I can still play a lot with just 1 mana. Okay, I put a stop in my upkeep because I want to play something in my upkeep, get a surveil, and try to find another land, of course. Okay, so opponent, this is actually pretty sweet because I played against one of my brews. Okay, so this is the build from Tuesday. We played the combo with the Stinkweed Imp, the Psychic Frog, and the Ketramos. It is a Esper Crab Wine deck with a new card Winter Night Story. So this player played my list, and we can see both new decks, how they work here. Okay, so opponent goes Hedron Crab, Marsh Flats on turn 2. They have a couple of Winter Night Stories in their yard. They also milled over Wonder at the moment. That's pretty good for them, deals well with my channelers. Opponent goes to shock themselves, put them to a 6, and now they play a Stitcher Supplier. Okay, so pretty good turn. A pretty good turn. Again, I decide to, in my upkeep, dig for land and kill the crab. So this time I was able to kill the crab, and I got the land to play my Swiss Spear. This was pretty big deal for me. So 3 Arcanist in a situation where I can find a second land is definitely not a great situation to be in. But with Arena of Glory, Arcanist can end up being very good in hand. Let's see what opponent does. Only the Stinkwind Imp cast. This means like a pretty bad situation for opponent. If they have to hard cast the Stinkwind Imp, that means they don't have much. Okay, I go for this is what I was talking about, and Dreadhorde Arcanist with haste is just super strong in this situation. We can see I was able to kill their Stinkweed Imp, which pump my Swiss Spear, disable them from blocking here. Of course, I'm giving them option to dredge, but I think I just want I don't want this CORI Steelcutter on top. I think I want a land or a burn spell, something like that. Okay, so CORI Steelcutter goes to the graveyard. I attack them down. They are on 7, and it seemed like from last turn that their hand is not the greatest because they only played Stinkweed Imp for 3 mana. Which was a bit weird. We can now see they do have Stitcher Supplier. Maybe that was a top deck. And now they play Stinkweed Imp as well and bring back both Vengevines. This puts me in a hard position because now I don't have a kill anymore. But thanks to my Arcanist, and my Arena of Glory is tapped, but I need 7 cards in the yard because of my Barbarian Ring. So I go for the Surveil, I top decked the right card, and I find a kill here with my one-off Barbarian Ring, and attack with Arcanist, copying the Bolt Wave for the last 2 damage. Luckily I was able to get the win here. If I did not get it here, then I would be in a definitely more difficult situation, but I had a couple of more Arcanists in hand, and that was it. So I definitely want Nihil Spellbombs to take care of the Vengevines and Winter Night Stories. So, except for that, I think I can use Fatal Push well, because their deck plays Psychic Frog. Push is great against Frog, and also for the Creeping Chills, I think I want a couple of Skullcrack. So I cut a couple of CORI Steel Cutters to bring in the Skullcracks as well, and yeah, so I keep go mulligan to 6 and keep this 6, and decide to keep the Barbarian or not, remove the Barbarian Ring and keep the Blood Crypt in the end. This is decent hand, I think. I have Nihil Spellbomb, I have a creature, I have some burn spells. It looks pretty decent. Okay, so I go a turn to a Switch Spear and go to for attack. I should have waited with the Bubble Crack, definitely. So now when they block, I don't know the top of their deck. Okay, so opponent blocks, mills over Ketramos to their graveyard. And now they go unearth the Ketramos and pass the turn. Okay, Ketramos is very good against me. If they can, yeah, I mean, I can't really use the Nihil Spellbomb now. If I use the Spellbomb, I remove all cards from their graveyard and I enable Ketramos for attacking. So that is a pretty bad position for me here. So I'm hoping they don't have enabler for Ketramos. If they do, I'm in big trouble. But I decide to do as much damage as I can here, and I put them down on 9. Next turn I have Skullcrack. I have Nihil Spellbomb, so let's see what happens. Unfortunately, opponent has the Psychic Frog, and they also have Stinkweed Imp in their hand, and in case you don't know, this is the combo assembled. So they have Psychic Frog and Stinkweed Imp in hand. They can now just discard the Stinkweed Imp, trigger the Ketramos with the Psychic Frog ability, and keep dredging, mill their entire graveyard, do all 4 Creeping Chills. They are drawing extra cards from Chills, and they can draw extra cards from the Frog abilities and Ketramos abilities. So then they only need to find a 3rd land and a 1 mana creature to cast their second spell, a second creature spell, and trigger all of my Vengevines. They can also just pump a Psychic Frog to 14/14. The Frog can't attack this turn, but it should be fairly easy for them to kill me this turn, but they ended up not going for the kill. I didn't have a way to answer this anyway, so I concede, but my opponent missed a little, definitely. On their turn they should have gone all in, and they would find all 4 Creeping Chills. They would gain more life. They would be they were also 2-0 at this point. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter last game because I conceded anyway, but they definitely missed a little there. They only needed another land and another 1 mana creature to trigger the Vengevines and kill me immediately. But it's okay. So here I had multiple options, but I decide. I think definitely you will agree that it is best to go CORI Steel Cutter plus Bubble here. If I draw a 1 mana burn spell, next turn I can go 1 mana burn spell and haste Arcanist, copy the burn spell. It seems really, really strong. Okay, so they have 0 for a blocker here. which is a problem for me. Another Arcanist is fine, but I just need another 1 mana spell here to be able to haste my Arcanist next turn and continue doing the damage and trigger the CORI Steel Cutter as well. Okay, opponent plays a Psychic Frog, and unfortunately here is another a land for me, so not what I need, but I can go for a Surveil. So I can go for a Surveil, test my luck. If I find a 1 mana spell, I can haste Arcanist and still find no luck this time, but I can just play one of my Arcanist and hope to do better next turn, find the 1 mana spell I need. I can also draw a card next turn with a Spell Bomb if needed. To continue triggering a CORI Steel Cutter or whatever. Okay, so my opponent untaps, but they mulliganed. And their hand wasn't great at this point. Just a Hedron Crab without lands and Force of Negation in their lands. So they discard a couple of cards and decide to continue drawing cards with Frog here. I agree that sounds like a best option for them at the moment. Okay, opponent plays another land and plays another Frog, and they are on 0 cards at the moment. Okay. Unfortunately, no spells for me, so I don't have Delirium here. I don't have, and this is very rare situation to not have any spells for my Arcanist. Just extremely rare. Okay, I go Arcanist, I go Dragon Ray Channeler, trigger my CORI Steel Cutter again, but this time my opponent has 0 cards in hand, a couple of frogs. Very hard for them to even get the frog flying, but they do find Stitcher Supplier, exile 3 cards to try to hit me another time with the frog. I can't do much about that. Opponent draws another and passes the turn. Okay, so now I want to draw another card. I need more stuff to trigger the CORI Steel Cutters, and now we can see this incredible thing happening here, since I have 2 Arcanists on the field and lightning bolts in my hand. This is a lot of damage. This is actually 12 damage phase with Arcanists, and I have 3 more damage. I can make my channeler flying, and I can just definitely pump these prowess tokens a lot here, and this is just game over. Okay, make another token here and go 3 more phase. And now I copy both of my bolts again, go all phase basically. So go all phase, and they can't even block this anymore. So I just go everything in the yard, make my Dragon Ray Channeler a flyer, and there's no way for them to block all of this. My prowess guys are 5/5, and they can't even block the channeler. So that's it. That is the match. Super fun match. My opponent got unlucky in this game 3, and I think they mulliganed a lot, and yet they were not able to find Ketramos in the situation when they really just needed Ketramos. Okay, so I go for basic here and play the channeler. Opponent has a lightning bolt, and but that's pretty good. So I was hoping on maybe finding Delirium on turn 2. That is why I went for channeler on turn 1. If I was able to go Tarfire and find another spell and hit them for 5 on turn 2, that would be super amazing. Opponent goes Mountain, channeler, Steam Vents, play the Swiftspear, and they're probably playing prowess. So this is a race. They are trying to race me, But I was playing first and my deck seems faster at the moment. I'm just trying to burn them face and hit them for as much damage as I can. I killed their channeler, I have plenty of removal for their creatures, and here you can see me hitting them for 4 more damage. That is great, so this means I'm putting them down to 5 life, and I play a bunch of burn spells in this deck, so there is a large chance of me finding the kill here very soon. Opponent continues attack, they have to continue attacking, and here you can see me going for the Swiss Spear, Lava Spike Face. If they don't have a removal, this is enough for lethal. So if they do have a removal, this is a risky attack, but I have to risk it with this deck, so I go for attack with both. I find a lethal there, my opponent concedes, so that's it. Again, I didn't want to board much, just Fatal Push for Fear in this matchup, and that's it. Mulligan down to 6, keep a pretty decent 6. I have Arcanists with Arena of Glory, and have Lava Spike here as well. Okay, so multiple options. I think it's best for me to just Swiss Spear here. Opponent plays CORI Steel Cutter. They don't have Mishra Bubble there. So multiple options. I think it's best for me to go double Lava Spike Face here, and next turn go Bump into the Night plus Arcanist with haste. That seems very powerful. Here I'm already going in for 9 damage this turn, putting my opponent down on 7, and we'll see how strong was this game plan, because I got the exact win. Let's see what opponent did. They went for Preordain. Opponent goes Preordain, and they probably will want to trigger their CORI Steel Cutters. Here it is. A Lava Dart, 1 damage to my CORI Steel Cutter, and they are now all hoping I don't have anything with haste probably, and maybe thinking this is not enough. Even if I do have something with haste, that is not enough for a kill. But they did not count me having Arcanist with haste here, so I was able to burn them 3 face and do 4 more damage with Arcanist for exact 7 here for lethal, and I got the win and I got the match. And okay, so I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so that was matches I have recorded here with CORI Steel, Arcanist, Rakdos Burn. Deck was amazing. I really loved it. And there are, I think, fear of missing out, definitely my flex slots in this build. You could see me through entire league sideboarding them out frequently. I think they are definitely flex slots, but what to play in these slots, it is optional. So you could play Mortar Fires, you could play some other burn spells, you could play other creatures like Nethergoyf. And I think Nethergoyf is fine, probably better than Fear of Missing Out. You could play like 2 Nethergoyfs, you could play 4 Nethergoyfs, but I don't think I'm a big fan of 4 Nethergoyfs here. I would rather just I would rather go for 2 Nethergoyfs or just keep the Fears. Fears can still be pretty good. It can double the Arcanist trigger. It can make your Swiss Spear double attack or channeler more often, which is pretty good. 3 damage flying, just double attack in that case is very good. Also sometimes you can make a big CORI Steel Cutter token, stuff like that. Also helps Fear of Missing Out helps greatly with Channeler Delirium, so Fear of is good in that way as well. It's fairly easy here to achieve Delirium, so that should not be a big problem. I liked the sideboard a lot, a lot of options for a lot of matchups. Of course, there are some other cards you could play, like Rakdos Charm is often popular, so cards like that, Reign of Gore, but I don't really like, I don't think they're necessary, especially in this build where you have CORI Steel Cutter, you have like a plan B where you can go wide, and with Arcanist as well. They make this deck a bit more grindier, and it's still super fast because you can utilize the Arcanist with Arena of Glory and CORI Steel Cutter with Mishra Bubble. So these cards still work well, very aggressive, and really like it. Okay, so that's all for today. Really hyped about this build. I think potentially this is very strong build and very budget friendly as well, except for the CORI Steel Cutters. Um, and the fetch lands, of course, you have to have fetch lands with Dragon Ray Channeler, but other than that, it's not a super expensive deck, and it's very affordable, and I think very solid. Okay, I think this type of deck can win you a lot of games against a lot of variety of matchups, a wide field. So I think this is very solid option for all, for both like experienced players who like this type of decks, and for the new players, and for the players who played before but are trying to enter the format again. This could be great option. Burn is always good, and I think this is now better way to play Burn with Dragon Ray Channeler, with CORI Steel Cutter. CORI Steel Cutter is one of the best red cards basically almost ever printed. It's incredibly strong, and this deck utilizes the Arcanist better than all other decks I ever played. So, and Arcanist is also potentially a very broken magic card, and in this deck with 4 Arena of Glory and all this 1 mana burn spells, you're just using it to its highest ability here, and it also works, synergizes with Arcanist, where Arcanist helps you double spell for CORI Steel Cutter, and CORI Steel Cutter can pump Arcanist a power to replace some 2 mana spells from sideboard like Skullcrack, like Pyroclasm, like Smash the Smithereens. So they synergize very well together. Also, CORI Steel Cutter can give it haste, which you saw there can be like a really huge thing. That's it. That's all for today. As I said, fears are my flex slots, so you have to figure out what to play there. As I said, maybe they could be Nethergoyfs. I don't think I'm a big fan of 4 Nethergoyf, but like two of them would probably be pretty good. So there's that. Okay, so I think what I would want to try next is go with 2 Nethergoyfs maybe in this build, and that's it. Okay, so thank you for watching. For the end, friendly reminder, click like, click subscribe, comment down below. What do you like in these flex slots the most? Is it Nethergoyf? Is it Fear? Is it more Fires? Is it Skullcracks or Fatal Push or Totsis or something else? Let me know, okay, down in the comments. And that's it for today. Again, thank you for watching and goodbye.